Hey there folks, Tom Rigsby here from TomRigsby.com. It's Friday, we're putting a wrap on the week right here on 7 Minutes in the Morning. Stay tuned. Well, hey folks, good morning and welcome. This is 7 Minutes in the Morning. It's your daily dose from me, your business coach. My name is Tom Rigsby. And by the way, you might have noticed this week, we're not running quite 7 minutes. I am going to make a commitment to you that I get these in under 7 minutes. And if it's under 7, so be it. But I'm not going over 7 minutes. Yeah, well, unless something important comes up. Anyway, today we're going to talk about something that's really important that comes up a lot when we talk about yesterday's topic. You know, all week we've kind of been talking about team and how you can foster a culture and let them have an opportunity to do their art. Yesterday we talked about what to do with a team player who doesn't want to be a team player. And we talked about how to let them go. Now, one of the things that creates fear and uncertainty in the business owner or the leader when they have to let someone go is just that, uncertainty. What's going to happen when I let them go? And that's because we don't plan for or create and practice a plan B. You know, even when you have a fully staffed, well-functioning, well-oiled machine of a team, something could happen. You know, last week I told you about the story of a family here in our community whose life was turned upside down by a car wreck. Well, what if that happened to one of your team members? Would anybody know how to do their job? Would you know how to do all the work that they do? So that's why I say it's very important to create, and not just create, but practice a plan B. From time to time, once a month, once a quarter, whatever is appropriate for you and your team, sit down with the team and say, okay, look, let's talk about what would happen if the worst happened, right? If Joe got run over by a truck or Betsy got sick, what are we going to do? How do we know what Betsy's responsibilities are, what Joe is committed to get accomplished while he's sick? And just talk through those circumstances and talk through other circumstances and contingencies also. You know, a couple of years ago here in North Alabama, we had a tornado outbreak, and nobody expected that we wouldn't have cell service. Yeah, maybe the phones, maybe the power would be out, but our phones will work. Well, the power was out for over a week. And, you know, the UPSs and the generators and everything at all those cell towers just stopped working. We had no cell service either. How do you communicate with your team? How do you make sure in a case like that, or maybe you live in a coastal area and hurricanes are your thing, but how do you make sure that everybody on your team is okay? All of those things are important considerations to go into your plan B. And it's not a bad idea to put together a book that has all of this information in there. I'm going to give you a resource. It's called RestoreYourNiche.com. RestoreYourNiche.com. That's put together by a friend of mine named Linda, and it's a book to help you plan through how to restore your home or your business after a catastrophe. And catastrophe sounds, you know, like a big deal, but it helps you plan through all the contingencies that you might need. Now, let's go back and talk about this in the context of this week. We might defer, put off letting an employee go because we don't know what they're doing, what they're responsible for. And if I go and talk to them and start saying, okay, well, Lynn, you need to start showing me everything you've been working on. Well, that's going to raise some red flags, isn't it? Right? If you do this in the context of just what you do all the time, everybody knows what's going on. They even know how to cover for you if something happens with you. And in the case an employee gets sick, they quit, or you have to let them go. In all those cases, all of your bases are covered because you've done the planning ahead of time, you've practiced it, and you know what the outcome should be. So, what do you think about making a plan B? Is that something that would be smart for your business, or you think, Tom's crazy, my business is too small? Send me an email, tom@tomrigsby.com. I'd love to get your feedback and your thoughts on this topic or anything we've talked about this week. You can get me on email, you can get me on Twitter at Tom Rigsby, or find me on Facebook. Just look for Tom Rigsby Coaching. Well, that's it for this week. It is Friday. We're going into the weekend. If you're going to rest, if you have the weekend off, I hope that it's relaxing and rejuvenating for you. If you do have to work, I hope it's profitable. We will be back here Monday with a brand new topic. Until then, my name is Tom Rigsby. I'm your business coach.